Hello again. Josh Gates here. No, not really.
No.
So it's it's us. I figured this would be practice for the winter when I really can't go to the movies that often and there aren't really that many good movies, and we'd have to talk about shit that's on Netflix.
Yeah, because Netflix has originals that are not Japanese anime.
And also shows that they purchased from other people and claim they're Netflix originals when they're really TV shows from another country.
Yeah. But besides that, they actually do have originals.
Yeah, they do. They're good too.
Yeah.
So, today, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Darren Brown. He is a British stage performer who specializes in mentalism.
Yep.
If you don't know what mentalism is, I guess I will leave a link to the Wikipedia articles in the descriptions. It'll take more video time.
Yeah.
So,
alright, so it's called Miracle, and perhaps one of the most interesting things I've always found throughout my 29-year existence,
that's it.
or rather 20-year existence of intellectual thinking.
I thought you were like 2,500 years old or something.
No, I think that's you.
I'm pushing like 10 millennia right here.
I've always been interested in the power of belief, and this show kind of talks about that, or rather shows how strong that belief can be if you're willing to set aside your preconceived notions of like what is good and what is bad. Well, what is it about you that you think is good or bad? Or
so here's
what are the life stories you tell yourself?
That's kind of, that.
Yeah.
Because what you were saying before kind of is getting away from the content of the special itself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, those are grander thoughts that made me think of.
Those are the things
That's a disclaimer.
so the stuff you mentioned were the things that we were talking about off camera.
Yeah.
But that don't necessarily have anything directly to do with the show.
Mm-hmm.
Directly. Indirectly they do, and Darren Brown kind of closes on that note. But what he does in this specific special is the first half of the special is kind of him doing a standard stage show while explaining what he's going to do and how he's going to do it, kind of somewhat teaching the audience what mentalism is about. In the second half of the special, if you're evangelical, you will be deeply offended. I'm not.
Me neither.
I am a recovering Catholic / closeted atheist because my family's Filipino, and they think that if you don't go to church anymore, your soul is gonna die. So, if you guys watch this, I'm sorry, that's the way it's gonna be. Nothing's gonna happen. I'll be fine. Thanks for your concern, but I don't need it. And I don't want to talk about it. Okay? That's to my family, now to you guys. So, the second half of the show is what I'm really interested in, because that's when he starts off by saying, I'm going to basically put on the persona of an evangelical preacher and show you what can happen in an environment where emotions are heightened and everybody is feeling swept up in the vibe and feeling good. So he does a series of things that he's seen done at evangelical churches, and he kind of demystifies it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he does say that in a sense it's real because we are the ones making it happen. Because belief is just that damn powerful. Now, for me personally, right, that's what I liked about it. At first, I thought it was going to be shit. And the reason is because the last Dan Brown special, not Dan Brown, Darren Brown, sorry, Dan Brown. No, you don't make specials. Dan Brown doesn't make TV specials. Darren Brown, the last special I saw of his was called The Push. And that was one where he kind of repurposes the findings of the Zimbardo experiment and uses a different narrative to restage it. That was so cool that when I saw standard mentalism, I was like, dude, what is this? What is this? I almost turned it off, but I'm glad I didn't because I would give it a thumbs up all the way. Watch it. It's awesome. You wanted to talk about belief and shit, so do that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Well, the thing is with like heightened emotions and all that, like I kind of experienced it when I had my first kiss with a girl I liked. It was like a super heightened emotion. I believed I could do anything.
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes I had weird beliefs, like I could jump in front of a car and it wouldn't kill me. If you could believe that.
Oh.
So seeing him put on the role of an evangelical showman, as I like to call him sometimes.
And they are. I've
Yeah.
seen this stuff. The thing you gotta realize about me is like I grew up hearing stories of my family going to tent revivals, and I've been to evangelical churches where I've seen this stuff happen, and I do know something about mentalism applied negatively, which you would call con artistry.
Yeah.
I do know some things about how you would go about doing that type of stuff. So when I see that in a church,
Yep.
all I personally see is one person taking a bunch of money from a bunch of people
Yeah.
for no real reason, and
Yeah.
that's something I'll always be against.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy if you think about like how your beliefs influence your perception, like even how you see things. There's towards the end of his performance, there was a guy, he shouted out as a skeptic, or discerned as a skeptic, because obviously he couldn't believe the things that Darren Brown was doing. So he brings the dude up to the stage and performs like essentially like gives him the demon of blindness. In this case,
Demon of
like,
blindness,
yeah.
By the way, he's not really faithful. He doesn't
Yeah. Yeah, so
he's a debunker. For those of you who aren't familiar.
yeah, but in this role, like the role of the evangelical pastor or preacher and the skeptic, like whether people think about it or not, subconsciously we're absorbing all types of information, whether it's sensory or like someone's telling us a story or something about their day, and maybe it'll mention like, oh, I saw this movie, and then later in the day you might think of like, oh, that movie that person brought up, or like you probably won't even think about the person who brought it up, like it'll just come to you. And sometimes this happens like near the end of the day, like before we're about to go to sleep, or we're just cooling down. So this guy, he had him read like the big font on one of his brochures
After giving him
the demon of blindness, and he couldn't read it. In fact, he was
He knew he was spitting out gibberish too because he was laughing at himself. He was like, I can't. The letters are all mixed up. Like,
right.
He was like, why can't I read it? And you could tell he was getting kind of frustrated too, actually.
Yeah.
The thing about Darren Brown is most of his work is predicated on like the true art of mentalism rather than using plants and stuff like that. He uses a lot of NLP and hypnotic suggestion type stuff and sleight of hand, combination of priming, all that to do what he does.
Yeah, so
It was funny.
yeah, it was. So it's like
Prior to that, it's worth mentioning that prior to that, took a lady's glasses and told her that he would heal her, and then did something, and then he asked her to do stuff that she previously couldn't, and she was like, well, you know, what just happened?
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah.
See, what they don't know is this is like training for extemporaneous. This was the deal behind this video. So it's not as clean as our videos usually are. That's why.
Yeah. Well, because the movie, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's easy.
It's a finite thing, and we already agreed only to give first impressions, and so this is very different.
Yeah. I just feel weird after watching it, because even in my own head, like, I was just like, there was a part of me that just like, oh, I still want to believe this.
Yeah,
and I think sometimes we have a knee-jerk reaction to it's kind of weird in this country, like, we want to believe in supernatural things, but at the same time, we don't. If it threatens something like how people see us, or if we have to put up money, unless you already buy into the belief system, then, well, it doesn't matter.
The thing is, in my own work with people, I've realized a couple things. That people that think they're not susceptible to any kind of trickery are often the most susceptible because they think they're impervious. And Darren Brown uses a lot of that because he knows that that's what people think. Okay? He knows that.
Yeah.
And the people that think they're not going to be touched by anything are often the ones that get beat by con artists.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen in front of my face. The thing about him is you're being paid to be tricked. You're paying him for him to trick you and to show you that trick. But when this happens on the street, it's not a trick. Somebody else is literally gaining from you without a contractual obligation to exchange money for it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. That's where the difference between somebody who knows this stuff and uses it ethically versus somebody who uses it solely for their own personal gain and betrays any sort of ethics that anyone might have.
Yeah.
But the more important part that I want to make sure makes it in here. The special is really about all the stories we tell ourselves, whether good or bad, and the effect that those stories have on what we think, and therefore what we do. So the next time you're thinking of calling yourself a shitty human being, or you think you fucked up your life, I've thought that many times. I've tried to end myself a couple times. Kind of glad I failed, because I wouldn't be here to tell you this. But there's usually a way around. With enough patience and with the right support system, there are better days ahead. So tell yourself a better story.
Yep.
Till next time.